Hello, my dear friend, I wish you wisdom. Okay, so let's jump right into the subject. Our friend Eric, right here, told us that he wants to start to practice magic. He's compelled, but he can't view the practicality of such a task because of the lack of privacy in his home. So, practically, that's the idea of the comment that he posted. Okay, so let's not waste any time. First of all people on this planet are magicians. The problem is that we are not aware of. You already know that we have been programmed and all that jazz. The problem is that we people who approach spirituality, we want answers. Now, when we enter into this domain, into this spiritual domain, what I personally found in the beginning stages was a lot of confusion. Whenever you read a book, I'm not saying and not suggesting that all the books in regards to spirituality are not helpful. They are. Some of them are. But many of them will just confuse you even more. And I personally want to keep things simple because I really struggled with this domain in order to understand it. First, it doesn't matter if you want to practice, for example, yoga, ceremonial magic, Reiki. They are different systems, but all have as a common goal the union with the divine. Okay, the method in which to get there is different, so it's your choice on which path you want to go. Now, in order to become a magician, or a magician, let's call it that way, you have three important assets at your disposal. The first is imagination, the second is your body, and the third is your voice. So in order to become a magician, first of all, you don't need any space. Yes, I know that I am a beginner in this practice, but I'm telling you, you don't need any space. Your imagination is the most powerful tool that you have, and it's all that you need. Yep, it's all that you need. And let me explain why. First of all, if you close your eyes right now, you can see in your mind the room in which you sit. So for example, let's do this right now. So let's suppose that you are sitting in a room, okay, or you are outside, I don't know. Just close your eye and picture in your mind the place where you sit. You can see it, okay? Anybody can see it. Now, keeping your eyes closed, imagine in front of you a cat, a black cat. Imagine that the cat has blue eyes. So you can see it. You can see that. You can see that in your mind. It will not look clearly, crystal clear, but you can see the cat. Okay, now open your eyes, look in front of you, and imagine the cat with your eyes open. I am sure that you can see it. Again, maybe you will not see the cat in your mind crystal clear, but you can see the silhouette or something like that. Well, people, that's the way in which angels appear, entities appear, I don't know, 80s, fairies, and all that stuff. appear. You will not be able to see with your physical eyes these things. So that's the way you will see your spirit guides, your whatever. Okay? Full disclosure right here. Now, I am sure that every one of you once in your life felt that you were watched. Now, if you knew that this information that I'm presenting to you here back then, okay, and you directed your attention towards that space from which you felt the presence in your imagination, you will actually see the entity or the spirit or whatever it is. You got it? Okay. Now, the problem is this. Whenever you will try to become aware and to use your imagination in this manner, negative thoughts will try to assault you. And that's because you have some stuff going on in your being. Maybe you hate someone. Maybe you are envious of someone. Maybe you have anxiety. Maybe this or that. So practically, when you start to use your imagination in this way, the first thing that will happen to you, negative entities will try to block you. And this may be, I don't know, thoughts that you hear every day, panic attacks, stuff of that nature. Now, let's try this exercise. If you close your eyes right now and you try to imagine the ringing of a bell, you will hear that, okay? You will not be able to pinpoint where the bell is, but you will be able to hear that. Well, in the same manner, you will hear entities. You will hear thought forms. In the same manner, is as simple as that, I'm telling you. And you are doing this every single day. The problem is that I believe that there are few people who will pinpoint and you will tell you in this manner. Okay, so that's the way that you will be able to hear entities or spirits or angels or whatever. The same way that you hear that bell. Okay, now there is a trick with these negative entities. You have to speak to them. I know that this sounds crazy, but you have to make them flee, because if you listen to them, they will try to block you, to make you crazy. It's simple as that. They will try to make you crazy. So what you have to do is to grab yourself a cup of tea and to start to speak with the thought and to tell it, look, I know what you are trying to do. Here's some love for you. Now get the fuck out of my head. Remember one thing, because you are in this plane, you are the most powerful being. No thought form has power over you. You have power over them, and they must kneel before you, not you before them. So remember that, because it's really important. That's the way that you use your imagination. If you want to practice, for example, ceremonial magic, what you will do if you don't want to have a physical space, you start to construct the space, the temple, in the mind. Okay, and when you do the actual ritual, you imagine yourself being in that space, in that temple that you created. But you have to spend a little bit of time to construct each tablet, for example, each object, each cube. You have to mentally construct the objects. Now, as a side note, I work in the gaming industry, and over the years I had access to 3D Max, Maya, and other game editors, engines, and I had the opportunity to see how a game is constructed from the beginning till the end. And that really helped me in order to see how from a point, for example, you draw a line, then you move that line and you create a surface. And if you move that surface up and down, you create volume. In the same manner, you can create structures in your imagination just by an act of will. Okay, it's that simple, and everyone can do it. So that's the way that you can see entities. That's the way that you can construct anything in your imagination. Now, for example, if you add feeling to that image that you construct in the imagination, you actually add energy, vibration. Okay, you add life into it. So that's why visualization, when someone is telling you in order to obtain something, you must visualize it, because you must see it, but you must also feel it. Okay, you must give it life. Good. Now let's move on. The body. The body is the most perfect thing that you have at your disposal. Your car or your phone is just junk, a piece of junk. Your body is the most powerful piece of technology that this earth has. I will not enter into this video into the chakra systems. But if you do, for example, the middle pillar, you will actually feel how your body is buzzing with energy, because you are drawing into your body. You are grabbing energy from the source and you move it through your body. Okay, so practically your body is the generator of energy. Okay, and another thing that I want to say is this. Is a technique that I discovered by accident. I was one day at work and I don't know, I think I had something to do, and out of nowhere I just tapped my chest and I said, "Dear body, let's not forget to do this at 4 p.m. Obviously I forgot about the task, but at 4 p.m. I heard inside my chest a small little voice telling me, "Nico, it's time to do this task." And when I look at the clock, it was 4 p.m. My mind was just blown away. And since that moment, I don't write down any task at my work, because I just tap my chest and I say, "Body, we have to remember that. I have to do this. I have to do that." And the body will become your personal assistant. The problem is that people put junk in their bodies. Your body is the most precious thing that you have, but you must take care of it in order to serve you well. If you don't serve your body well, if you don't take care of it, it will not help you. Nope. And the next thing that I said is your voice. Okay? You must express yourself. Your voice helps you to create vibration. For example, if you decide to practice, for example, ceremonial magic, you will see that you have to vibrate the names of God. And in the beginning stages, because I didn't knew what that whole idea of vibrating the name of God was, I just played with the words. Okay, so I said them, I don't know, one time louder, one time slower. And for example, for me, in order to get those chills in the body and to actually feel the energy that is around during the ritual, for me, the most effective way of saying the name of God is to whisper them in a certain manner, okay? Because that just brings me chills. But I mean, it depends. But your voice is very important. You must understand that, for example, in the Bible, it says, "I am the Lord." So when you say "I am," you are actually saying the name of God, the Lord. And you have those 10 commandments. And one of them says, don't take the name of the Lord in vain, or something like that. So if you are walking around and say, I am stupid, or I am sick, or I am broke, well, you will soon be. And the same thing applies when you speak to another person. Pay attention to the words that you speak, because you create a rhythm around you. And everything that you experience, even the way you breathe, will create a rhythm around you. Okay? So that's why it's very important to exercise, to watch your words, to watch your breath. So, I mean, it's a lot. When you enter the first time in this domain, it's a lot to understand. It's a lot to handle. It's a huge amount of information that we have to learn, but these are the pillars. These are the pillars that you have. And once you discover, once you play with them, you'll see that we live in a world that is amazing, is mind-blowing. It's really beautiful to live. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I wish you a wonderful day, and I see you next time.